Here we go. Advance notice. Save the date. Save the date. There you go.
I have a couple high school girls.
Tanur Rabbanan. Let's throw all the kids together, and that's it. Finished. Tanur Rabbanan.
I'm sure they have no problem finding work in this area.
On the bottom of Chavei Amid Beis. 2 lines for the bottom. Chavei Amid Beis. 2 lines for the bottom. This is what we did Chazar. And again, we'll do the same method, but everyone on their own should be trying to, in anticipation for Shavuos and over Shavuos. Let's try to get this down. So Tanur Rabbanan, Chasan v'Hashashbinan v'chol b'nei HaChuppah Peturim min atfila umin atfilin v'chayavin b'kriyat Shema. 3 dinim. They're pater from davening, tefillin, but they're obligated in kriyat Shema. Mishum Rav Shila imru. In the name of Rav Shila, they said Chasan pater v'Hashashbinan. Again, who are the Shashbinan? Those are the other people that come to the wedding. They help out the Chasan. V'chol b'nei HaChuppah is chayavin. So it's a very important Rashi.
They're discussing Krishma.
Oh, very good, very good. Let's see the top Rashi. Top Rashi. Mishum Rav Shila Amru Chasan Pater. So Rav Shila says the Chasan is Pater from what? From Kriyat Shema. Number 1. Why is the Chasan Pater from Kriyat Shema? Ditarid, because he's preoccupied. V'shar b'nei HaChuppah, according to Rav Shila, is chayavin. But now this is the line we need. V'las lahani tanai ha'isek b'mitzvah pater min ha'mitzvah. This shtickle from the Tanur Rabbanan is not the patur of Isaac b'mitzvah pater min ha-mitzvah. Meaning, that patur, that one who's obligated in a mitzvah, one who's in the middle of doing a mitzvah is pater. Here we're dealing with a different patur. What's the patur? Why are you exempt? So we just learned the chassid to be exempt because he's tarud. He's preoccupied in the wedding. So now, what about, why would he be pater? So now let's go back. We said he's pater from Shemana Esrei, Tefillin, but obligated in Kriyat according to Tanakama. Why is he pater from Shemana Esrei? Because you need to have Kavana. Why is he pater from Tefillin? So Rashi says, nothing to do with Kavana. Because you go to the wedding, you have a little bit to drink, and even if you don't have a little bit to drink, it's interesting. It's a one time in someone's life the chazan doesn't have to drink, no?
Not at least until after the...
Till later on. Anyway. The Kalos Rosh. But the Mice says Kalos Rosh, he's in a happy mood. Hopefully. if he's not, there's I heard Ephraim Waxman has a great line. He's got the speaking tonight. He said, listen, if the chassan's crying walking down to the chuppah, beseder. Chassan's crying under the chuppah, beseder. If the chassan's crying during dancing, there's a problem. So, Shavuos is the chasana. So, Lamaisa, you could be, intense leading up to and this. But Lamaisa, after it, now comes the time. That's why Shavuos, you need to have lachem. The Shavuos, that's why you need to have the geshmaka cheesecake and the geshmaka meat and all the good stuff. Because it needs to be a party. Because we're celebrating with the Torah. But either way, enough of that for now. Back to us. So this is not a din of Isaac mitzvah, patim, and a mitzvah. Let's continue. Amar Rav Chanina bar Kavya. Tanya, excuse me. Amar Rav Chanina ben Kavya. Koisvei Svarim, those who write Svarim. Tefillin umezuzais. Hein v'tagreim, they and their merchants. V'tagre tagreim, and the merchants. V'chol ha'isikin b'mlacha shamayim, anyone who's dealing with this incredible work. What does it mean? Chol ha'isikin b'mlacha shamayim, last 2 comes to include moyechrei tcheles. Those who sell tcheles. Rashi adds on, what's the chiddush of moyechrei tcheles? Not Rashi. Some add on. The reason is it's optional. Tzitzis is not an obligatory mitzvah. It's when you wear a 4-cornered garment. I think we mentioned when we learned it the first time that Bizman Hazer, Moshe says that's not true, that we've taken on a minhag to wear tzitzis. But either way, all these people that are dealing with the mitzvah of writing Sifrei Torah, Tefillin, Mezuzos are Peturin, Mikriyat Shema, and Atfilin, Makol HaMitzvahs, Hamuras, B'Torah. Why? So this is not like the first thing we started off with, that why is the Chasan pater? Because he's preoccupied. Why are these people pater? Lekayim divrei Rav Yossi Aglili, to fulfill the words of Rav Yossi Aglili, Rav Yossi Aglili, Aimer, Isaac b'mitzvah, pater min ha-mitzvah. Tanur Rabban, and again, I'm going to go drop faster. If anyone feels like it's not clear, stop me, because that's the point of Chazara, as we learned the other day from learning in the Sukkah, that the first time is right. First time you run. The second time is ma'ayin. The second time you think about it. So we're going to go a little faster, but it doesn't mean we shouldn't be thinking about it. The opposite, we should be concretizing everything. So someone who's traveling on the road, what is the halacha? He is b'yoyim if he travels during the day. P'tur minasaka b'yoyim. He's pater by day. V'chayavim b'layla. He's obligated at night. Halcha d'racha b'layla. If he travels at night, p'tur minasaka b'layla v'chayavim b'yoyim. Halcha d'racha b'yoyim b'layla. P'tur minasaka bein b'yoyim ubein b'layla. Why is one a hoylech derech? Why is he pater? Very good. Rashi here. This was our first introduction to Teishvu ke'ein taduru. That sukkah is like your house. Just like in your house, there are times you travel. So too, you're allowed to travel on sukkahs. And when you are traveling, then you are pater. But when you're not traveling at night, then you're obligated. Holchen dvar mitzvah. But now if you're traveling to do a mitzvah, you're not just traveling for business. You're traveling to do a mitzvah. Automatically, peturin, you're exempt. Bein b'yoyim, ubein b'layla. There's an exemption both by day and by night, even though, what's the chiddush? You're only traveling by day, but you're pater by night. Why are you pater by night if you're traveling by day when you're coming to do a mitzvah? So Rashi points out, because you're thinking about the mitzvah the whole time. I don't want to say it, but I wonder if, Lamaisa, we're all the opposite, right? When we're traveling for business, at nighttime, you go to sleep calm? No, you're worried about the next day's meetings and you're worried about the business. When you go traveling to the shiur, you finish the shiur and Ganuk shine, you go to sleep. Okay, Beseder, over Lamaisa, let's, okay. Weiter. Kiha.
Different era of learning.
Yeah, exactly. No, I wonder aloud if Lamaisa, this is a practical answer, right? You're going to do a mitzvah. So you're doing it by day. By night, you don't have to be in the sukkah. Why not? Because you're worried about the mitzvah. Any mitzvah. I wonder out loud if one would say, no, Lamaisa, you're not. Lamaisa, you're whatever. Therefore, you're chayiv. I don't know. We've had many. Yeah.
You can use that to just not eat the sukkah, the entire sukkah.
Why? Because you're doing mitzvahs. So this is a fundamental shayla. That is one of those things, the icing mitzvah you always have to deal with.
Well, it also said, we learned later that it said you should kind of be living in your sukkah.
Very good.
It said go to visit your Rebbe,
good.
if it's local.
So these are all the things you have to come to terms with. But at some level, the icing mitzvah, patim and a mitzvah is only going to be as long as you're not undermining the whole creation. You're going for a business trip on Monday Sukkot, so on Monday Sukkot you don't do the mitzvah. No one's going to say l'chayra that you could travel the whole Sukkot and miss the whole mitzvah. But that is the Petorah of Halchei Drachim. That is the Petorah of Halchei Dvar Mitzvah. Kihad Rav Chisda, says the Gemara, a story of Rabbi Ravuna Ka'avi l'Shabbat l'Regila. They went for the Shabbos of Yontif l'Bei Reish Kalusa, for to the Reish Kalusa, and have they gone? Where do they sleep? Arkasa de Surah, on the riverbanks of Surah. They did not sleep in the sukkah itself. Why not? Amri, they said, Anan shluchei mitzvah anan. We are doing a mitzvah. What's the mitzvah? We're going to hear a drasha. So they're going to hear a drasha, so they're pater at night. Absolutely fascinating. Yeah?
That's in the later Gemara when Mishabach and Atzlanim.
Yeah.
Right, because here they're pater from sleeping in the
Good.
sukkah because they're going for a shear. If you just stayed home. Home.
So this is one of those things that you have to reconcile, right? In the later Gemara, we said you're not supposed to be makabel p'nei rabbi and yontif, according to Rav Eliezer, if you're gonna be home with your family. Here, it's not going to be makabel p'nei rabbi; it's talking about going to hear the drasha. Interesting. Interesting.
We learned in that same Gemara that it said you could travel if it's local.
Oh, if it's local, but here they're sleeping overnight. Here they're sleeping overnight. Clearly not going home at night. So again, is this? It could be right. Yeah, it could be. It could not a steerer. It could be two different opinions. Or I wonder if one is. Okay, we have to think about it. Is one devar rishos and one's devar chiyuv? There was discussing you have to go to your Rebbe. Here's discussing if you're allowed to go. Maybe lamais you don't have a chiyuv, but if you went, then you have a tour. Not sure. Okay, these are good. We'll cross all the little Gemaras, intersect them all as we go. Tana Rabbanan, continuing this theme of doing mitzvahs and other things when you're pater. So Shemer here, you're watching the city, bayayim, 2 minutes bayayim. Chacham b'layla. Shamir b'layla, you watch at night. 2 minutes ago b'layla v'chacham b'yom. Shamir b'layla, 2 minutes ago b'layla. So seemingly, why? Because Shamir ear is an optional item. This is Teishu Kein Taduru. So when you're doing it, you're Pater. When you're not doing it, you're Chayv. Shamir Gina is a Pardesim. If you're watching your gardens in your orchard, which we pointed out when we learned this, this is interesting. Why are you Pater? Bein Bayam Bein Balayla? As Rashashi is remembering, you have to say, Pshat is that it's referring to that you're watching it the whole time. Says the Gemara, the obvious kasha. What's the big deal? Just get a pop-up sukkah. Well, if it's sukkah, awesome. Just make a sukkah over there. What's the big deal? Says the Gemara, V'leisu, and you should sit in the sukkah. Abaya Amar, Teishu came to do. Terrace number one. Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't. You don't have to, says Abaya. Rav Amar, appear tzakar leganov. You're attracting the ganov. If they see, oh, you're busy, you're the security man, you're the watchman. And what are you doing? You're busy hanging out in your sukkah. So we see that you're not doing what you're doing and you're going to attract ganavim. My beinayo, what's the practical difference between the two opinions? Ik beinayo to come into a karya teperi, when you're watching a pile of produce, meaning it's an easy thing to watch. So you could be in your sukkah and you still could keep one eye on the pile of produce in front of you, and therefore you would have to be in a sukkah. So you see over here important that when you're able to do both avada, that is what you are supposed to do. Even
Someone who serves in the Israeli army doesn't have to be in the sukkah?
these are very serious shaylas. Very serious shaylas. A lot of this has to do with what do we lemaisa hold you are doing when you're serving in the army. You're definitely a shomer. So there's different types. Shomer ear is one thing. Shomer ear, you're watching the bad guys. I don't care what you hold of the government. I don't care what you hold of Eretz Yisrael. Lemaisa, you're guarding someone. That's one level. The next level is, what about, can you go out to who knows where? That you have a patur. There's all these interesting paturim for someone who's being, conquering Eretz Yisrael. Whether that applies nowadays, that's a bit of a shmooze. Right, that's what I'm saying. Meaning, because then memanashach, we don't care. You're shimer of Havistraw. You're helping people. It doesn't make a difference. It's not if you hold off Eretz Yisrael or not. It's them. You're helping people from the bad guys.
In some cases, you're in sakana.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Listen, when you see the guards in Eretz Yisrael, you feel safe. There's a reason, because these guys know what they're doing. Chaylim. Okay, we're 12 minutes in, but because we're in Chazara, we're gonna keep on going. But everyone, again, if we don't on our own read through the Gemaras, then I don't want to say it's a brach levatala because that's not nice, but it's come out of
have the same effect.
That's the politically correct way of saying it, but lemaisa is brach levatala. We all know the truth. What should we tell you? Chaylim u'misham shehem. Someone who's sick and is attending. 2 more minutes. Let's go. Tanu Rabbanon. Chayla shamru this chayla zay chayla sheish b'sakana. Doesn't mean he's deathly ill. El afilu chayla she'ein b'sakana. Even if he's bedridden, and afilu, which is the chayra lower level. Chash be'einav, afilu chash be'raishai. He has an ayik. He has a headache. Pater min asika. Amar Ashbag. Says Rav Shimon Gamliel, Pamach Chashti Beina B'Kesari. He was visiting Caesarea. Maybe he went on vacation and he had a shtickle hayek. The hitter Rav Yosi Beribi. Yosi Beribi was Meiko Lisha and Ani. Umisham Shichotz LeSukkah. I and my attendants outside of the sukkah. Rav. Another story. Shar Ravacha Bardala. He permitted to Ravacha Bardala Migna Bekilta the sukkah, to sleep in a canopy in the sukkah. Misham Baki, because of the mosquitoes. Because of the mosquitoes, he slept in the canopy. And we pointed out, B'shaita, what does it help? He's in the canopy. If he's bitzar, just leave the sukkah. We said that maybe there's a mila that we'll see about being in the sukkah, even underneath in the oyel, which reminds us all the way back at the beginning of the parak, that hopefully we'll be starting chazaka. Very good. Which I was a machlekes, we paskin it does, but correct. Rava, a few more lines. Shavar le Ravacha bar Ada lemingni bar mimatzlasa, to sleep outside of the sukkah. Misham sircha degar gishta, because the sukkah stunk. The smell of the white sand of the floor. Rava le tamedam Rava mitztayer potter min sukkah. I vanantin el chom shavim min sukkah. You just told me a mitztayer is potter, but we learned if you're chaylik, he and his attendants are potter. Chaylin mitztayer loy. Says the Gemara, the Tzibel Terra time chaylu misham shav potter, mitztayer hu potter misham shav loy. Chavra, we can't overstate the need